Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank you so much for joining us on the Dr. Mumbi Live. Please subscribe if you haven't already. The Dr. Mumbi Show has faced so much censorship and just drama from YouTube. So we're trying to, reorganize. We're still having a little tug of war with them. So definitely make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Now, a very disturbing story coming out of Portugal, where an elderly Mzungu man actually shot they call him Black Portuguese, but I'm just like, that's an oxymoron. Come on, guys. It's like when you say a Kenyan Indian, you know what I mean? A Kenyan, it doesn't exist. So hundreds of anti-racism protesters actually took over one of Lisbon's main squares on Friday to demand justice for Bruno Kande. This was last Friday. He was basically a black actor who had, from Guinea, and he had, a father of three, etc., etc. And the sad thing is that Kande's family actually said in a statement on Saturday, the suspect had threatened to kill him 3 days before and had been, shouting and using racial slurs, but he wasn't taken seriously. And, one of the 32-year-old protester said, why are we here and unable to live in peace? We are working, paying our taxes. Why are they always killing black people? And in Guinea-Bissau, lawmakers, they even acted. I love this. Lawmakers actually passed a motion saying the murder was racially motivated, and they said they would send a delegation to investigate. They would send a delegation to Portugal. What? That's what's up. This is how we should react whenever one of our people is touched. And not just because he's some black actor, so I assume he may have been a celeb, in Portugal. But they said that this is awesome. Shout out Guinea-Bissau. They said that they would be sending a delegation to discover what happened to Kande. And the case has really put a lot of spotlight on Portugal and its racism. And I keep telling you guys, this police system is a spirit. It's a principality. It's one of the principalities that the New World Order system that the globalists are using to copy paste their ideas across the world. And they get inspired by each other. You think these Portuguese aren't being inspired by what they see happening in the US or other countries, but it doesn't even matter, black or white. Police behave the same around the world. And it's great that this has really put a highlight on the day-to-day, racism. And a lot of people in Europe still face racism. You guys pretend that life is all good and, you just continue, you're making your money, you're sending your little money home. But beloveds, and this is coming from someone who loves you, come home. Things are going to get way worse before they get better. If you have the opportunity, if you look like me and you're in Europe or you're in the divided states and you have the opportunity to come home, come home. If you don't have the opportunity to come home, then really psychologically, spiritually, and mentally prepare yourself for what is coming. Because this has been going on for years, but now as more and more, people have to start reading the seasons and the times. Millions and millions of Europeans and Americans are getting laid off. Businesses are collapsing. That means minorities in any country will now start to be seen as the ones that are causing unemployment. You've taken their jobs, etc., etc. So please, if you have an opportunity, don't call yourself black, because I heard someone calling themselves Black British. I'm like, come on, man, come on. Even your ancestors would be like, nah, they won't recognize you. So really be aware of that. And, allegedly the protests continue. And the suspect was actually Zungu man in his 70s. And the protests actually even appeared in different international media. Al Jazeera covered it as well, and they said that similar protests were to be held on Saturday in the cities of Porto and Braga, with protesters and anti-racism campaigners saying the killing was motivated by racial hatred at such a time as this. But let me tell you, beloveds, with everything that's going on and the global spotlight on the Mzungu, people are on edge. I hope you've seen my other story about how African Americans are arming themselves. 2,000 a day, allegedly, are arming themselves. So I hope you're reading that, and just being aware of the seasons. Everyone's on edge, beloveds. And so just be wise. Get out of the matrix. Do your own thing, and let those who feel inclined to fight. But it's amazing that these protests are going on. Protesters also held a vigil where they said, they had been raking through the details of Bruno's life. The family just wants to see justice done properly. And, different people coming out, musicians, other celebrities of, there's someone Angolan Portuguese heritage, someone called Joa Tristani. He said, "It makes me so sad. Everything about the case is so obvious, and still they're just looking for reasons to justify why Bruno Conde was killed. Are we ever going to see a case of racism dealt with properly here by the authorities? We're sick of this." I didn't even know this, but allegedly Portugal has quite a sizable Afro descent population, and of course, they had long colonial history in Africa. I told you how Angola literally saved Portugal from collapsing, and this Angolan Isabella de Santos. There's a lot of drama about what's really going on. Yes, many say she benefited from her parents, but she owned several banks and several media houses in Portugal. And the Mzungus were not comfortable with having an African woman owning all of that. So, as much as it may be justified, it wasn't just purely motivated to help the Angolan people, but those are stories for other days. A 2016 report by the United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination criticized the presence of Afrophobia and institutional racism in Portugal. And experts said that although Portuguese penal code makes both racism and hate crimes punishable by law, this was rarely applied. And once again, what we see happening in the divided states is what's happening to our brother, our late brother in Portugal, where they're trying to muddy his name and create a justification of why he has been killed. But now, with the Guinea-Bissau government sending their own investigators, it's about to get real. We'll definitely keep you posted on this story. Until next time, tuko pamoja.